Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member. After today's hearing in this committee and in the Committee of Natural Resources, I am hopeful that we will move from convening hearings to drafting legislation. And I believe that two principles must be met. First and foremost, Puerto Rico needs tools to restructure its unsustainable debt. What is critical is that the island be given the authority to broadly address all of its various debt obligations. This means not just the $20 billion in public corporation debt, but also the remaining $50 billion in general obligation, Government Development Bank, and Territorial Tax Revenue, or COFINA. By itself, Chapter 9 will address only a small sliver of these debts and do little to remove the black cloud hovering over the island. That is why we need a broader territorial-level restructuring mechanism. Second, an oversight board must be structured in a manner that does not undermine Puerto Rico's autonomy. If the control board takes the people's power away, it will just be viewed as another imperialistic power grab by the U.S. government. It will be the height of hypocrisy for the federal government to take away decision-making authority due in part to the policies enacted by this very same body. Don't forget that Congress created and then eliminated preferential tax policies that has played a massive role in this crisis, and I'm referring to 936. The ranking member mentioned the fact that Puerto Rico was covered under enjoyed bankruptcy law protection from 1933 to 1984. So when people talk about changing the rules of the game, let's look at what the United States federal government, U.S. Congress policies have produced and the implication that it has had in Puerto Rico. What they need is not only bankruptcy protection, but also economic growth. And the only way to do that and to accomplish that is by enacting the types of tax incentives that will enable for investors to come and invest in Puerto Rico. Thank you, and I yield back.